Welcome back. Imagine holding a diamond so beautiful that kings desired it, collectors fought over it, and millions of people became fascinated by its story. Now imagine that same diamond being blamed for tragedies, bankruptcies, madness, and even death. For centuries, people have whispered about a mysterious curse attached to one legendary gemstone. A curse so famous that it transformed a rare blue diamond into one of the most feared treasures in history. But was it really cursed? Or was something even more mysterious hiding behind the legend? This is the incredible story of the Hope Diamond. A gemstone surrounded by beauty, power, wealth, and one of the greatest mysteries the world has ever known. And trust me, the biggest secret was still hidden. The Hope Diamond is not just another precious stone. It is one of the most famous diamonds ever discovered. Its deep blue color looks almost unreal, as if a piece of the night sky became trapped inside crystal. Today, it weighs over 45 carats and attracts millions of visitors. People travel from around the world just to stand in front of it for a few seconds. But its fame is not only about beauty. It is about the stories, the rumors, the tragedies, and the strange chain of events that followed many of its owners. For hundreds of years, the Hope Diamond has been linked to mystery. And that's where our journey begins. The story starts in India, long before modern museums, before famous collectors, and before anyone had heard the name Hope Diamond. Deep within the rich diamond mines of southern India, workers uncovered an extraordinary blue stone unlike anything they had seen before. Most diamonds were colorless. This one was different. Its rich blue glow seemed almost magical. Few people know that this diamond was originally much larger than it is today. At the time of its discovery, it was a massive rough stone that immediately attracted attention. According to popular legend, the diamond may have been stolen from a sacred temple statue. Some stories claimed it was taken from the eye of a holy idol. Others believed it belonged to ancient priests. No one knows for certain if these stories are true. But they helped create the curse that would follow the diamond for centuries. What happened next shocked everyone. The diamond eventually came into the possession of a French merchant named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. He traveled across Asia collecting rare treasures and gemstones. When he brought the remarkable blue diamond back to France, he could not have imagined what would happen next. The truth was even more surprising. The diamond caught the attention of the powerful French monarchy. Eventually, it was purchased by King Louis XIV of France, one of the most famous rulers in European history. The stone was cut into a magnificent gem that became known as the French Blue. It was larger than today's Hope Diamond and became part of the royal treasure collection. For a time, the diamond symbolized wealth and absolute power. But that was only the beginning. Years later, France entered a period of chaos. Economic problems grew. Public anger exploded. And the French Revolution changed everything. King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette eventually lost their lives during the turmoil. Because the diamond had belonged to the royal family, many people began connecting these events to the supposed curse. The legend grew stronger. Then something unexpected happened. The French Blue vanished. One of the world's greatest treasures simply disappeared. No one knew where it had gone. For decades, the famous diamond remained lost. And that's where the mystery deepened. Years later, a smaller blue diamond appeared in England. Experts eventually concluded that this stone had likely been cut from the missing French Blue. By reducing its size, thieves may have hidden its true identity. The once famous royal gem had transformed into a new diamond. The Hope Diamond. Named after a wealthy banking family who eventually owned it. But ownership brought little peace. Several owners experienced financial problems. Some suffered personal tragedies. Others faced unexpected hardships. Whether these events were coincidence or something darker, the stories continued spreading. Newspapers loved the curse. The public loved the mystery. And the Hope Diamond became a global sensation. As decades passed, wealthy collectors competed to own the famous gem. Among them was an American socialite named Evelyn Walsh McLean. She adored the diamond. Unlike others, she refused to fear the curse. She wore it to parties. She displayed it proudly. She even allowed friends to admire it up close. But tragedy seemed to follow her family. Her young son died in an accident. Her daughter later faced a heartbreaking fate. Her husband struggled with serious problems. Financial difficulties eventually affected the family as well. For believers, this was proof that the curse was real. For skeptics, it was merely coincidence. The debate continues even today. And that is exactly why the Hope Diamond remains so fascinating. People cannot decide whether they are looking at a gemstone or a warning. Yet beyond the legends lies another remarkable story. A scientific story. The Hope Diamond is extraordinary for reasons that have nothing to do with curses. Its stunning blue color comes from tiny traces of boron trapped inside the crystal structure when the diamond formed deep beneath Earth's surface. This process is incredibly rare. Most diamonds never encounter the conditions necessary to develop such a color. That alone makes the Hope Diamond exceptional. But there is more. When exposed to ultraviolet light, the diamond produces a mysterious red glow. Imagine a blue diamond suddenly shining with a reddish light after darkness. For many people throughout history, this strange effect only strengthened the supernatural legends surrounding it. Scientists, however, see something different. They see a geological miracle. A natural masterpiece created under extreme pressure and heat billions of years ago. Long before humans existed. Long before kingdoms rose and fell. The diamond was already waiting beneath the earth. That fact alone is astonishing. Today, the Hope Diamond remains one of the most valuable and recognizable gemstones on the planet. Although it is considered priceless, experts estimate its value could reach hundreds of millions of dollars if it were ever offered for sale. Collectors dream of owning treasures like this. Museums celebrate it. Researchers continue studying it. Its popularity has only grown with time. Millions of visitors gather every year to see it in person. Many arrive expecting to view a beautiful diamond. They leave wondering whether they just encountered one of history's greatest mysteries. But the biggest secret was still hidden. For generations, people focused on the curse. They searched for supernatural explanations. They connected every tragedy to the diamond. Yet modern researchers have looked closely at the evidence. And what they found changes everything. Many stories associated with the curse were exaggerated. Some events were distorted. Others were added years later by newspapers seeking dramatic headlines. In some cases, people connected unrelated tragedies to the diamond simply because the story was too good to ignore. The curse may have become famous not because it was true, but because humans love mysteries. We love stories that make ordinary events feel extraordinary. The Hope Diamond became more than a gemstone. It became a legend. A symbol of mystery itself. That realization is perhaps the most shocking fact of all. The diamond's greatest power may not come from supernatural forces. It may come from the human imagination. For centuries, people transformed a rare blue crystal into a story larger than life. A story capable of surviving revolutions, thefts, disappearances, and generations of retelling. And perhaps that is even more remarkable than any curse. Today, the Hope Diamond rests safely behind protective glass. Visitors stare at it with wonder. Some admire its beauty. Some fear its history. Others simply stand in silence. Because when you look at the Hope Diamond, you are not just seeing a gemstone. You are seeing centuries of human dreams, fears, ambition, greed, and curiosity frozen inside a single piece of crystal. Its journey has crossed continents. It has passed through royal palaces and private collections. It has survived revolutions and thefts. It has inspired legends that refuse to die. And despite everything we know, questions still remain. Was there ever truly a curse? Was the temple story Real? How much of its legend is fact, and how much is fiction? Perhaps we will never know. But maybe that uncertainty is exactly what makes the Hope Diamond so unforgettable. Because sometimes the greatest treasures are not valuable because of what they are. They are valuable because of the stories they carry. And few treasures on earth carry a story as mysterious, beautiful, and enduring as the Hope Diamond. Welcome back. Imagine owning a diamond so powerful that kings fought wars for it, emperors killed for it, and entire empires rose and fell in its shadow. A diamond so famous that even today, hundreds of years later, countries still argue over who truly owns it. Its name is Kohinoor, meaning mountain of light. But behind its dazzling beauty lies a story filled with conquest, betrayal, mystery, and one of the most famous curses in history. And the most shocking part? The greatest secret of the Kohinoor may not be its value, its size, or even its curse. It may be the question that nobody can answer. Who does it really belong to? The story begins centuries ago in the heart of India. Long before modern nations existed, deep beneath the earth, a remarkable diamond was formed under intense pressure over billions of years. At some point, it was discovered in the legendary Golconda mines, an area famous for producing some of the world's greatest diamonds. These mines were unlike anything the world had ever seen. For hundreds of years, they produced gems of extraordinary beauty and rarity. But among all of them, one stone stood above the rest. The Kohinoor. No one knows exactly when it was first discovered. That mystery alone has fascinated historians for generations. Some ancient stories suggest the diamond existed thousands of years ago. Others claim it appeared during the medieval period. The truth was even more surprising. The diamond's early history is so uncertain that it has become almost impossible to separate fact from legend. And that's where the mystery deepened. As centuries passed, the stone found its way into the hands of powerful rulers. It became a symbol of authority. A symbol of divine power. A symbol that seemed to promise greatness. But there was always a price. The Kohinoor passed through the hands of kings and emperors across India. Every ruler wanted it. Every ruler believed it strengthened their right to rule. But that was only the beginning. In the 16th century, the diamond became part of the treasures of the mighty Mughal Empire. The Mughals controlled vast lands and possessed unimaginable wealth. Their palaces glittered with gold, pearls, and precious stones. Yet even among those treasures, the Kohinoor held a special place. It sat among royal jewels, admired by emperors and visitors alike. The diamond became a living symbol of power. But power attracts enemies. And enemies were getting closer. In 1739, a terrifying invasion changed everything. A Persian ruler named Nader Shah marched into India with his army. His forces defeated the Mughal rulers and captured enormous amounts of treasure. Among the treasures was the famous diamond. Legend says that when Nader Shah finally saw the stone, he was stunned by its brilliance. He supposedly exclaimed, "Kohinoor! The mountain of light." The name remained forever. But what happened next shocked everyone. Nader Shah's victory made him one of the richest rulers in history. Yet only a few years later, he was assassinated. The diamond survived. Its owner did not. And the pattern was beginning to emerge. The stone continued its journey through Afghanistan and other regions. Again and again, rulers gained possession of it. Again and again, tragedy seemed to follow. Wars, assassinations, betrayals, overthrows. Some believed it was merely coincidence. Others believed something far darker was at work. Few people know that one of the most famous legends surrounding the Kohinoor is a curse. According to the story, any man who owns the diamond will suffer terrible misfortune. Only women, it was said, could wear it safely. At first, many dismissed the tale as superstition. But when people looked at the diamond's history, the list of unfortunate owners was difficult to ignore. Powerful rulers lost their kingdoms. Emperors were overthrown. Dynasties collapsed. Lives ended. violently. The curse became one of the most enduring legends in gemstone history. Whether real or imagined, it transformed the diamond from a treasure into something much more mysterious. A beautiful object feared by those who possessed it. But the biggest changes were still ahead. In the 19th century, the British Empire expanded across the Indian subcontinent. As British influence grew, the diamond became caught in another dramatic chapter of history. After a series of conflicts, the Kohinoor eventually came under British control. In 1849, it was formally surrendered to the British East India Company. The precious gem was then presented to Queen Victoria. Its arrival in Britain caused enormous excitement. People rushed to see the legendary diamond. Newspapers wrote about it. Crowds gathered to admire it. Yet there was one problem. Many visitors expected a dazzling stone unlike anything they had ever seen. Instead, some thought it looked smaller and less brilliant than expected. The truth was even more surprising. The original diamond had been cut in an older style. Although historically important, it did not display maximum sparkle by modern standards. As a result, the decision was made to recut it. Experts carefully reshaped the stone. The process reduced its weight dramatically. Much of the original material was lost forever. But the new version sparkled more intensely than before. Today, the Kohinoor weighs approximately 105.6 carats. Even after losing much of its original size, it remains one of the most famous diamonds on Earth. Scientifically, the Kohinoor is extraordinary. It belongs to a rare category of diamonds known for exceptional clarity and purity. Its formation required unimaginable pressure and heat deep within the Earth. For billions of years, nature slowly created the crystal structure that would eventually become legendary. Unlike colored diamonds, the Kohinoor is known for its striking transparency and brilliance. Its beauty comes not from unusual colors but from its remarkable ability to reflect light. Every facet contributes to the sparkling effect that has captivated rulers and collectors for centuries. And yet, despite all its scientific wonders, people remain fascinated by something else. Its story. Because the Kohinoor is no longer just a diamond. It has become a symbol. A symbol of empire. A symbol of history. A symbol of ownership and identity. Today, the diamond is part of the British crown jewels. Millions of visitors from around the world travel to see it. Yet its presence continues to spark debate. Several countries have claimed historical connections to the gem. Arguments over its rightful ownership have continued for decades. Some believe it should remain where it is. Others believe it should be returned. The discussions remain active even today. And that's where the mystery deepened once again. Because unlike many treasures, the Kohinoor is not simply admired. It is contested. Its story is still being written. Its journey is not truly over. But the biggest secret was still hidden. For all the books, research, and investigations, nobody knows exactly how old the Kohinoor really is. Nobody knows its complete early history. Nobody knows every hand that held it before recorded history began. Entire chapters remain lost in time. Imagine that. One of the most famous objects on Earth. A treasure studied by experts for generations. Yet parts of its story remain hidden forever. That mystery may be more valuable than the diamond itself. Because diamonds can be measured. They can be weighed. They can be cut and polished. But mystery cannot. And perhaps that is why the Kohinoor continues to fascinate the world. Not because it is the largest diamond. Not because it is the most expensive. Not even because of its alleged curse. It fascinates us because it represents something deeper. A connection between history and legend. Between fact and myth. Between power and loss. As the centuries passed, kings vanished. Empires disappeared. Dynasties crumbled into dust. Yet the Kohinoor endured. Silent. watching history unfold around it. From ancient mines to royal palaces. From battlefields to crowns. From forgotten kingdoms to modern museums. Its journey has crossed continents and generations. And even now, the mountain of light continues to shine. Not merely as a diamond, but as a witness to human ambition, greed, glory, and mystery. Perhaps one day its remaining secrets will finally be revealed. Perhaps they never will. Until then, the Kohinoor remains exactly what it has always been. One of the world's greatest treasures. A stone surrounded by wonder. A diamond wrapped in legend. And a mystery that refuses to fade.